All right, we're back for the second league of the day. We've spun the wheel and hit mono black Helm. So this deck is using Helm of Obedience in combination with cards that replace anything going to the opponent's graveyard with exiling them. So Helm in combination with either Leyline of the Void or Dothy Voidwalker. So Helm's a 4-mana artifact. It has X in tap. X does have to be at least 1. So essentially what happens is you mill your opponent and then you keep milling them until you either mill a creature or you mill X cards. So if you have Leyline of the Void or Dothy Voidwalker in play, they'll mill one and then they'll try to mill another card, but they will never actually mill another card because Leyline or Dothy are exiling all of their cards, and thus you win with that combo. In order to facilitate this, we are playing Dark Ritual and Chrome Mox to speed up in order to get to the 4 mana. We also have Karn the Great Creator, which can go fetch another Helm out of the sideboard. And of course, Beseech the Mirror, which can fetch either of these. Or if you have one of them already, but not one of the other things, it can fetch, of course, basically anything else in your deck. The rest of the deck includes, we are an Urza's Saga deck, so we have 1 Pithing Needle and 1 Shadow Spear in the main as fetchable targets for Urza's Saga. There's 4 Bowmasters, 2 Hymn to Torok, 2 Opposition Agent, and then of course Dothy in combination with Orcish Bowmasters means you can play kind of a mid-range game. Thoughtseize to interact with the opponent. 1 copy of Ill-Gotten Gains, 4 mana exile. Each player discards their hand, then returns up to 3 cards from their graveyard to their hand. So of course, if you have Leyline or Dothy in play, then your opponent will discard everything, and then they don't have anything in their graveyard, so they can't get anything back, whereas you can. And then 3 Aghanim's Awakenings, which you can use in the late game to get back Bowmasters, Dothy, and or Opposition Agent. For lands, we have mostly just, again, mono black lands with Urborg to mana fix the colorless lands, Ancient Tomb to speed up, Urza's Saga for its shenanigans, and Vault of Whispers because we need sack fodder for Beseech the Mirror. And it incidentally is an artifact, which makes the Saga tokens bigger. Then in the sideboard, we have 4 Sheoldred's Edicts as ways to interact with creatures more. In specific, we can interact with creatures that we may not be able to interact with in other ways, such as Merit Lage, for example. Torok Dreadcantor for the white decks. Another Opposition Agent for any decks that involve searching a lot. Plague Engineer, 1 Damnation. And then we've got our Karn targets, which includes Ensnaring Bridge, Helm, of course, and then 4 Chalice of the Voids. And one other thing that we can do is that against any deck that's running fetch lands, we have the potential to get a turn 1 Opposition Agent either with Ancient Tomb plus Chrome Mox or land Dark Ritual, and we can even do it at instant speed. So if we play a swamp and our opponent tries to fetch, we can go in response Ritual Opposition Agent. So that is another way we can cheese out victories. But anyways, that is the totality of the mono black Helm deck. Let's jump into a league. All right, round 1, we're on the draw. Let's see, we have Leyline of the Void in hand. We also have Dark Ritual and Opposition Agent and Ancient Tomb and Helm of Obedience. Man, this hand's great. We actually have a turn 2 kill, right? We go Leyline, Vault of Whispers, and then next turn we go Ancient Tomb, Dark Ritual. We have 5 mana. We go Helm activate, you lose. All right, excellent. So we're definitely keeping this. Opponent mills to 5. So reveal Leyline. Cavern of Souls, naming Goblin. All right. Goblins doesn't have a way to interact with this. Skirk Prospector. Chrome Mox, we win immediately, right? Chrome Mox, Imprint Opposition Agent, Ancient Tomb, Dark Ritual, Helm. Wow, turn 1 kill. All right. Goblins. Damnation, Plague Engineer. They have Goblin Matron, so I probably want Opposition Agent. I don't think I can needle anything, right? It depends on what's in their deck. They might be playing Aether Vial, I don't know. They might be playing Port or Wasteland. Wasteland's not too bad against us. Shadow Spear is probably not that important. Do I want Sheoldred's Edict? What does Goblins have that searches? It's just Matron, right? So I probably don't need like that many Opposition Agents. I can cut what? So Goblins usually will just empty their hand super fast, right? I don't know. I don't know to what degree I want this discard stuff. I probably don't want Ill-Gotten Gains because that's more of like a grindy, slow card. Sheoldred. Oh, I forgot about Sheoldred in the main. Yeah, we also have a Sheoldred in the main. Sheoldred's probably not that great either. Yeah, we can't overboard. I don't know. How useful is Sheoldred's Edict in this matchup? This is probably good enough, right? Maybe just 1 Opposition Agent, because again, like, they don't have any fetch, well, they might have fetch lands, but they don't have as many as other decks. It's possible Hymn to Torok isn't that great either. I don't know. Let's just run this. Okay, we've got Helm, we've got Beseech the Mirror, we've got, I mean, obviously, this isn't a turn 1 kill like the last hand, but it's still keepable. We have a Thoughtseize into a Bowmasters into a Plague Engineer, so it's pretty good. Mountain, Skirk. All right, so Swamp, Thoughtseize. All right, so it's Sticker Goblins. Let's see. I probably just want to take the Sticker Goblin, right? They can obviously play War Chief next turn, but that doesn't matter that much. Yeah, let's take a Sticker Goblin. Back over to them. So now their only play, I mean, they might have drawn something else, but their only real play is to what? Because they can't play War Chief this turn without sacking Prospector. Ancient Tomb. They drew War Marshal. Okay. They're just going to sack all of those to play War Chief. Okay. And then we take 4. All right. I'm almost certainly just going to play Plague Engineer next turn, so I don't want to play Saga yet. So let's Vault of Whisperers, and then we'll flash Bowmasters in and try to, like, hit as much stuff as possible. Back over to them. All right, so they are swinging with everything. So then we flash in Bowmasters, target War Chief. All right, so they're sacking it to prevent us from getting the token. Sure. I'll block Skirk here. I don't care about maintaining a Bowmasters in this matchup, and it prevents them from getting more mana on the second main, if it's relevant. They're playing the Shatter Skull tapped. All right, that's good, because that means they can't kill Plague Engineer now. We drew Leyline. All right, Saga, trigger, play Plague Engineer, name Goblin. That dies, and then back to them. And then our next turn can be Agadeems as a land, run out Leyline of the Void, and then play Helm, and then, but we're potentially one mana short. City of Traders, Goblin Matron, which instantly dies, so they're going to go grab Muxus, presumably, because they have the mana to cast it next turn. Yeah, Muxus. I could just, Beseech Thoughtseize it out of their hand? I could do that, or I could just try to win next turn, right? That's probably better. So yeah, let's just run out Leyline of the Void and then pass it back to them. They would have to hit quite the series of goblins for Muxus to kill me right now. Yeah, okay, so Battlecry plus Mog War Marshal. Yeah, so we're good. They would have had to hit like multiple lords to not have their guys die, plus also, yeah, it doesn't matter what I grab right now. Land, Helm, and target you. And we got it. All right, on to round number 2. It would have needed to be like Sticker Goblin, a few lords, and Battlecry. They would have needed to be able to deal us 13 damage. So they would have needed to have like multiple lords so that their creatures don't die to Engineer, plus something that gives haste. So either Sticker plus Battlecry Goblin or another War Chief. And we can block Muxus too. So they would have had to have quite the hit. Let's see. We've got turn 2 him to Torok, or turn 1 him to Torok, depending. This is fine. We're on the draw. Polluted Delta. No, there's Beseech. All right, let's just play this Shadow Spear. And we'll try to hymn them next turn. Or Bowmasters, depending on what exactly we're playing against. Fetches Underground Sea. Another Delta. Ponder. So it's probably better to try to Bowmaster on the end of their turn and force them to interact with it. And if they do interact with it, then that gets rid of one piece of interaction so we can hymn. And if they don't interact with it, then we get a Bowmaster. Ooh, griefing us? Well, they exiled Troll. So it's almost certainly Dimir Shadow. What are they going to take from this hand? I assume they have Reanimate, so what would the takes be? Bowmasters plus him. They took Dark Ritual, and then they didn't reanimate it. All right. There's Ancient Tomb. All right, let's just pass and then Bowmasters them on their turn. Scalding Tarn. All right, end step Bowmasters. It resolved. All right. Go to combat. Swing. Could hymn them right now. I don't feel like just running out Helm for no value. So, I should have hymned on my main phase and then equipped Shadow Spear. All right, that was a mistake on my part. All right, let's just hymn them. They fetch. They fetch again. 3 Underground Seas. Shadow doesn't usually play 3 Underground Seas, but they could. Flash in Brazen Borrower. Okay. They discarded Shieldred's Edict and Daze. Well, let's equip here. I'm surprised they wouldn't just Edict to this. Oh, they have Murktide, don't they? Murktide, and they didn't delve it, or they didn't lose it to him, or they just drew it. Well, Trigger Urza Saga. I'm still missing the other black for Beseech, unfortunately. So this is 9 damage, so I'm dead in 2 hits anyway, so I may as well play Helm. All right, play Helm, and then I guess we just pass back to them. All right, we take 9, we go to 4. What's our draw? We drew Leyline of the Void. We drew Leyline of the Void. All right, so if this resolves, we win. So obviously, if they counter it, we lose. What's a way this can go wrong? Do they have any way of dealing 2 damage to us at instant speed? I don't think so. All right, Leyline. They did have Force of Will. All right, well, we lose. I guess I can mill them, and if I mill over a creature with flying, I can block Murktide. All right, Helm. Yeah, all right, we're dead. So, Blue-Black Shadow. What do I want? Grindy cards. Torok, Shieldred's Edict. I don't think I can needle anything in their deck. Plague Engineer, because they assuredly have Bowmasters of their own, so we can name Orc, or we can name Fairy to kill Brazen Borrower. Opposition Agent. Don't really want Damnation. What am I cutting? No, Borrower still wouldn't have killed me because I could have gained 2 life off the Orc that had the Shadow Spear on it, so I could have lived for 1 turn if I'd found a flying creature. Probably still would have lost after that, but What's the board out? Is it just like the fast stuff? Is it like Dark Ritual? Against the deck that's playing Daze, Force of Will, and then maybe bringing in other counter spells, it's bad to have cards that like don't actually do anything or that go all in on stuff. And it's always the eternal struggle. Thoughtseize is bad in grindy matchups, but it's good against counter spell decks. Again, maybe Opposition Agent is overrated. I guess they do have Troll of Khazad-dûm, right? That also searches their deck. So it's that plus fetch lands. Let's try that. On the play for game 2, we have, I guess, technically 3 lands. Turn 2 Dothy's all right. And then into an Oppo Agent. All right, okay. Play this tapped. Back over to them. Polluted Delta. Underground Sea. Ponder. All right, obviously we get Dazed, but Voidwalker. All right, we got Dazed. Black for Reanimate on Voidwalker. Okay. Man, it sucks that I have to play around Daze here, right? Because I got to get my own Voidwalker out. So bolt that in and play Voidwalker. Then back over to them. Wasteland. They attack us. We actually can block, but I'm not going to. So if they... Okay, so they Wasteland us. We can actually play their Wasteland and then waste their Underground Sea. All right, Thoughtseize. Brainstorm, yeah, hiding the goods. So they have 1 land in their hand. Okay, I don't think I want to Dothy any of those cards. So what's the one I want them to have the least? Probably Force of Will. Or maybe I don't want them to have Daze. We can't get Oppo Agent out, so that leaves what? Well, we lose this game if we don't draw more lands, right? So I can just take Force of Will, and then they don't have a way to interact, really, outside of Daze. Now let's take Force. And then we will go to combat. Yeah, go to combat, swing Delta. Then they attack us back. We go to 9. Bowmasters, which we can't get around Daze with, unfortunately. It also highly depends on Dress Down and Plague Engineer. And we have Dothy to sack to play Force of Will or Brainstorm. All right, let's attack them, and then if they fetch, we will Bowmasters in response so that if they want to counter it, they have to pick a land up with Daze. Cycle Troll. All right, there's no better time to do it than now, so let's Bowmaster. Resolves, shoot them. Obviously, they just play Plague Engineer, but what am I going to do? I assumed they were just going to play Plague Engineer anyway. So Plague Engineer names Orc. They hit us down to 6, and then we can Dothy what? Like the Troll into play, but then we're still too far behind. Urborg. Man, this is interesting. So many decisions to make. They have a 2-turn clock. If we put Troll into play, we have a turn 2 clock, but we're 1 turn slower than they are. They have Daze to stop Opposition Agent. And if I ever lose my Dothy, then they get another card in the graveyard and can they can actually just Murktide now if they want. Dothy can also cast Force of Will to counter the Murktide. Like, there's so many decision points here. I have to block this, and I probably have to block this. And then they play Murktide, and then we just lose. All right, pass. I don't see how attacking is going to help us to win the game, so we'll just pass. All right, Flash and Oppo Agent. Brazen Borrower, Petty Theft on Dothy Voidwalker. Well, I should definitely sack in response. So, sack. Dazing our Oppo Agent. And that's going to let them play Murktide. So, if I don't choose if I choose Force of Will, then I can force the Murktide, right? But I'm still just dying on the board. I think I need to find Damnation, so let's choose Brainstorm. All right, cast Brainstorm. All right, that can work. So I need to hide Chrome Mox in case they have a hand disruption spell, right? Yeah. So I need to put back Oppo Chrome Mox, then we go to 1, and then we go to 1, and then they have to I hope they play Murktide. All right, they're not. So I have to Damnation this right now, unfortunately. So Chrome Mox, and I have to imprint as well. All right, so imprint one of the Beseeches. Then we cast Beseech with Bargain. Sack this. Oh, do I not have Damnation? I thought I boarded that in. Apparently I didn't board that in. Well, I guess we're dead then. All right, concede. On to round number 3. Even if I had brought in Damnation there, I Damnation, then they play Murktide, and then we're untapping and have to, like, don't even know what in the world we can draw. On the play for round 3, this is fine. Keep this. Reveal Leyline. Swamp. Thoughtseize. Okay, so it's Jeskai Control. I guess they take 4th Aerolingus, right? Yeah, take 4th Aerolingus. And then back over to them. Island. If they wait on Brainstorm, I can flash in Bowmasters, so they should do it now. All right. Drew Beseech. All right, Bowmaster's in response. Target them. So then Brainstorm resolves. These trigger a whole bunch of times. They go to 16, and we have a 4/4 token. Prismatic Vista. They should probably ending this, right? One or the other. Yeah, ending the token. Shieldred. Land, combat, swing here. I should Bowmaster on their upkeep. Bowmaster on upkeep. Before they have double blue for counterspell. Target them. Alright, Thoughtseize. Fetches in response. Is this getting countered? Force a negation. Exiling Ponder. Huh. Alright, well, swing. Opponent's at 9. Tundra. I guess I may as well play an Equip Shadow Spear. Play Shadow Spear. Counterspell, sure. Go to combat. Swing all. Snapcaster Mage. So they're just going to Snapcaster and trade with an Orc? Sure. Alright. We trade off. They go to 7, and they have 2 cards. Still haven't drawn a 4th land, so let's just keep attacking them. Flashes in another Snapcaster Mage to trade. Okay. Both creatures die. They go to 6. Volcanic Island. They have 1 card. Ooh, Opposition Agent. All right, combat, swing. Should probably stop on their upkeep. All right, Oppo. It resolved. And they drew a fetch land. Well, there's Chrome Mox. So let's go to combat, swing. And then let's Chrome Mox, exiling Leyline of the Void, play Shieldred. And then they're dead on draw step. All right, sideboarding versus Jeskai Control. So all of their creatures are either Snapcaster that already gets its value or Aerolingus. So Shieldred's Edict is probably not that great, although they almost certainly have 3 Fairy in their deck and maybe some other Planeswalkers. So maybe we want some of them. We definitely want Torok. I want flash threats against the counterspell deck. Plague Engineer alone can reduce... I can name Human, and then all of the tokens that Aerolingus makes are 1/1s, and Snapcaster dies on the spot, so that's probably fine. I don't think I want Damnation, though. Again, counterspell deck, I probably don't want Dark Rituals. Shadow Spear seems pretty meh in this matchup. Alright, let's do that, I think. Game 2 are on the draw. Double Chrome Mox in the opening hand, along with cards I don't actually want to pitch, is kind of bad. I have what? Turn 2 Dothy, turn 3, not much else. Is it acceptable? Like, man, these 2 Chrome Moxes in the hand are so bad. I guess they're free fodder for Beseech. I'll keep. Flooded Strand. Alright, well, turn 1 Thoughtseize significantly improves the hand. Vault, Thoughtseize. Opponent fetches in response. Doing the old Brainstorm Hideaway. Spell Pierce. Alright, back over to them. Alright, Urborg and Dothy. It resolved. And no interaction or effect on the end step. Alright. Are we getting Prismatic? Yeah, Prismatic on Dothy. Okay. I don't have triple black for Torok at the moment, unfortunately. Tundra. The only way to get there is unfortunately to Chrome Mox and Oppo Agent. The Torok's going to have diminishing returns as the game goes along, though, so I think I am supposed to do it. Chrome Mox. I guess I can technically I can actually, because of Urborg, I can kick it next turn. I guess I just shouldn't do it. All right, no imprint. So let's upkeep this Opposition Agent. Do they possibly play Daze? Am I supposed to play around Daze? I'm not going to. Oppo Agent. Brainstorm in response. Brainstorm again. So they really, really want to try to force this. All right, it entered and they did nothing. So kicker, Torok, trigger. Discards Ponder, Dress Down. All right, combat attack with Oppo Agent. Ponder. They chose not to shuffle. Prismatic on the Oppo Agent. All right, combat, swing. Should I just play this now? I guess so. Target them and go. It prevents them from having any window to Brainstorm in response. Although they've been through 2 already, but I think that's still fine. All right, well, they had Verdict, so never mind. All right, Bowmaster again. Flooded Strand. We're basically both in top deck mode now, right? Yeah. Tapping the Strand as a black 4th Aerolingus. So they can attack with 2 of them and leave 1, or they can attack with 1 of them. So there's no way that they can attack and not allow us to get the Monarch back. But they can just attack with 1 and then I'm forced to double block it, basically. It really depends what we top deck here, doesn't it? All right, let's double block it. That just prevents the Monarch from ever triggering in the first place, and then we just have 2 2/2s to contend with after that. All right, Opposition Agent. Let's do this now before they can fetch with the Flooded Strand, if that matters at all. Only to block with the army. No, they have Trample. I have to block with both. Swing with 1. The only thing they have is to fetch land, right? And the fetch land can make mana anyway because of Urborg. I'll block. All right, well, Vault of Whisperers, go. They can get Sanctuary if you block. I guess that is relevant. All right, play Leyline of the Void. That's another thing I always forget, that they have Sanctuary to fetch for. Oh, hard cast Force of Will? Yep, hard cast Force of Will. All right, back to them. The alternative is just to have Opposition Agent in play and then like never attack or block with it. Okay, Plague Engineer. Another Force of Will, eh? All right, Scalding Tarn. Yeah, I guess I was not supposed to block with Oppo Agent. All right, another Plague Engineer. They can't possibly have 3 Force of Wills, right? All right, name Human. Now their guy doesn't attack as well anymore. Also insta-kills Snapcaster. Ooh, Agadeem's Awakening. This would only get back 1 of each value, right? Yeah, I have different mana value. So I pay 6 for this, and I get back, what? Bowmasters and Oppo Agent? Or Torok? Torok's pretty hard for them to kill, right? All right, so combat, swing. They are blocking. All right, so I need to pay 6 for this. So cast, getting back Oppo and Bowmasters. God, if they have Sanctuary, they can just fetch Verdict into play too. What else am I going to do, though? Black, black, Force Negation. All right. Well, didn't matter anyway. Yeah, if they had it, they should have already gotten 4th. Yeah, are they just not playing Mystic Sanctuary? Like, I don't surely a deck like this should be playing a 1 of Mystic Sanctuary, right? Because they should have just gotten 4th Aerolingus and played that again by now. So I guess they just don't have it in this version of the deck. Plays a fetch land. Are we getting 4th? That's the only thing I could see them tapping this much for right now. No, Terminus. All right. The top deck war continues. We drew a Chrome Mox. Back to them. Snapcaster Mage, and then they can snap the 4th and get 3 2/2s. Brilliant. So we're going to lose to drawing nothing. Yeah. So, like, not only do they get 8 power on the board and we go to 8, which means we have 1 draw to get out of it, but they also get the Monarch. Yeah, Terminus and 4th with no Sanctuary. All right, well, we've drawn absolutely nothing, so... The reason I don't want Damnation in this matchup is, although it clears the board of, like, all the 4th tokens, it's only good when we're already behind. I think this is fine. Maybe they have it, but they're afraid the last card in hand is Agent. But I've been, like, F6ing through turns, and, like, I would have cast Agent by now if I had it. All right, on the plate, we've got Leyline, which is very good against their Snapcaster deck and whatnot. And we can't Dothy, but we do have Saga turn 1 and then can start making token. Oh, no, we can Dothy with Agadeem's Awakening as well. All right, this hand's good. I'm probably just going to start making Saga tokens and not play Dothy in that case because, you know, Leyline. So reveal Leyline and then play Urza's Saga and pass. Vista on their side. All right, so this goes to 2. Ew, and we have Oppo Agent as well, but we can't actually play it right now. All right, so Ancient Tomb, then back over to them. They fetch. So if I go fetch Chrome Mox next turn, can I win if they don't have a counter spell? Brainstorm. Because I float 1, then I have 3. No, because I don't have triple black, so I can't beseech. So I just make Constructs. So they play a land, then we end step, make a Construct, then back over to us. They do have Dress Down in their deck, right? But, you know, we're still going to go for it anyway. Make another Construct. Swords on this one, sure. So make another Construct, and then tutor. So at this point, I probably want to just grab Chrome Mox so I can deploy another threat this turn. What am I Chrome Moxing away? One of the 2 Dothys, maybe? Because I want to have triple black available for Beseech next turn, so I'm not getting rid of Agadeem's. All right, so let's grab Chrome Mox, trigger one of the 2 Dothys, and then we go land, Dothy, and then back over to them. Force of Will, pitching Counterspell. Interesting. Fetches Flooded Strand. Plays Monastery Mentor. All right, well, make them have it. I'm going to sack this token, so let's attack with it, and then if they block with Mentor, I guess that's fine. And then we just sack Chrome Mox. All right, swing. Yeah, so no blocks. Then cast Beseech with Bargain. Black, black. Sack the token. Do you have Force of Will? No, you don't. All right, go grab Helm and Helm you. Boom. We have milled the opponent's deck. Pass over to them. All right, on to round number 4. Okay, let's see. We have a turn 1 Oppo Agent or a turn 1 Shieldred. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Obviously depends on what we're playing against. Urza's Saga. All right. Urza's Saga decks are not known for being able to interact with what we're doing here. Mox Opal. All right, so it's probably 8 cast. So I can just go Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox, exiling Dark Ritual, and then get Opposition Agent into play so that the Urza Saga is going to fail. All right, so Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox, imprint Dark Ritual, and then pass. Another Saga. Man, if they don't have Force of Will, this Opposition Agent's going to be nuts. No, they have Force of Will. Exiling Paradoxical Outcome. Huh. Well, we don't have triple black for Beseech. Otherwise, I would have just instantly Beseeched for another Opposition Agent. So since I don't, I guess I'm just going to play Shieldred. They have another Force of Will, exiling Echo of Aeons. All right, well, at least we 2 for 4'd them. So float a mana, and then what are they going to go fetch? Expedition map. Crack the map. Gets Ancient Tomb. All right. 2 Dothy Voidwalkers. So presumably they'll have a Pithing Needle in their deck, right? So even if I go tutor for Helm, they'll probably get Needle and name Helm, right? That's what I would assume. So it may be correct to just beseech for Oppo Agent right now. Yeah, I think I just cut them off of tutoring. So black, 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 Ancient Tomb, cast Beseech with Bargain, sack the Chrome Mox, and then yeah, let's go grab Oppo, and then cast it over to them. So then they can make 1 construct, but then the tutor fails, and because the tutor fails, then they don't have the next artifact for Mox Opal. Why do I get to see what's in their hand? When an opponent searches his library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they're in exile. You spend mana as though... Yeah, why do I get to see their hand? Oh, you control your opponents while they're searching their library, so I get to see their hand. So their hand is Opal, Basalt Monolith, Merchant Scroll. So I can grab LED, Voltaic Key, Lion's Eye Diamond, Manifold Key. So they're a Paradoxical Outcome Echo of Eons combo deck that tries to win with Oracle. Oh, and they have the Ring as well. So let's see. The keys don't matter to me at all. I'm not going to Chrome Mox one of the Dothys out of my hand. I guess I have what? I have a Vault of Whispers already, but no other artifact, so Mox Opal doesn't tap. So I guess Jeweled Amulet is the correct pick. Or Manifold Key can give guys unblockable, right? How much does it cost to do that? 3 mana? So if I draw another mana source, then I'm going to go Dothy, make my guy unblockable, hit you. All right, so let's take Manifold Key. Another Dothy. So, all right. I'm not going to attack into this, obviously. So Dothy, play the key. May as well untap this. I don't know. Back over to them. We just aggro them out, right? Their hand's Merchant Scroll, Basalt Monolith. Merchant Scroll doesn't even do anything while Oppo Agent's in play. 3/3 Construct. Okay, they're erasing us. Sure. No blocks. Chrome Mox. Well, play another Dothy. Go to combat, swing, and then pass to them. Wait, they're tapping Ancient Tomb to put a counter on Jeweled Amulet? But then they're literally dead next turn, right? I guess they have to try to win now, right? All right, so we won that. So Mono Blue Artifact Combo. So we want anything that disrupts their ability to go off, right? They have a lot of zeros, but that's only relevant if we're on... No, I guess they echo, right? So it is actually relevant to have Chalice of the Void in the main. What am I even cutting here? Shadow Spear... Shieldred's probably too slow. No, they have like Echo of Eons, so anything that I have that triggers off draws is good. Another Oppo Agent. I don't particularly want to cut anything for Chalice. Needle can name Urza's Saga, which can be relevant. I want Bowmasters, because again, they use Echo of Aeons and Paradoxical Outcome, which means it's good. They were a Karn deck, right? I don't believe they're even running Karn. They're just running Paradoxical Outcome and a million artifacts and 1 ring. Yeah, I guess this is fine. All right, let's run this. Because, like, one option is to have Chalice on 0, but I don't think I want to replace anything for Chalice on 0. Maybe Ill-Gotten Gains. Being on the draw also makes Chalice on 0 way worse. So, all right, let's just run this. All right, we've got Thoughtseize into him to Torok and Dothy Voidwalker. This is fine. Ancient Tomb. All right, Thoughtseize. Ring, Metamorph, Paradoxical Outcome. So they have a second Ancient Tomb, and then they're going to ring. And then next turn I can't even hymn them because 1 ring's in play. So yeah, this hand's Thoughtseize proof. I guess I just take one of the rings. All right, back over to them. Second Tomb, ring. Yep. All right, Dothy. Back to them. Draw more cards. Urza's Saga. Grim Monolith. I think my best out is to what? Try to just combo kill them right now, or as fast as possible rather. Mox Opal, Voltaic Key. That also leaves them with the ability to use Otawara. Untap the ring, draw more cards. Grim Monolith. Jeweled Amulet. Yeah, so Otawara means we can never actually combo them. Unless we have multiple Dothy type cards. Nothing's in exile yet, right? Yeah. So I guess I just hymn them. Right, so they're going to Otawara Dothy away, presumably. Oh no, does Paradox a bunch of stuff up to their hand? Okay, sure. What happens if I hymned Metamorph and Otawara? Well, land attack. Saga goes up to 2, and now they can redeploy a bunch of things, although they do take a bunch of damage from their tombs. And then if they don't win this turn, I can play Shieldred and shut off all of their extra draws. Triple Grim Monolith. Voltaic Key. Returns. Manifold Key. Assault. Mox Opal. Jeweled Amulet. Never mind, I guess Chalice of the Void was extremely important here. So they make a bunch of mana. Paradoxical, everything back to their hand. Alright, so they're just going to win now, right? They have 22 cards in their hand. The problem is they could still just fizzle, hypothetically. All right, so redeploys a whole bunch of stuff and the ring, draws more cards. Echoing Truth away, Dothy Voidwalker. LED. All right, so we're going to get echoed at some point in this turn. Discards, including Echo. We can technically interact with them if the hand that we draw off of their Echo includes a Dark Ritual. It unfortunately does not. All right, keep F6ing through their turn. Paradoxical. Yeah, this is going to be a long one. All right, so let's start a poll. Will opponent win before they clock out? I guess the better prediction is, so with 12 minutes left on the clock, they're almost certainly going to get there. So the better prediction is, what's the over-under on when they win? They've been through 3 Paradoxicals, 2 of which are in exile, but they can keep looping them. But if they loop with Echo, then they have to reshuffle a bunch of stuff. So they still have 16 cards left in their deck, and their win con is Oracle. All right, so they Paradoxicaled for exactly the amount that was left in their library. So now they just have to double blue and Oracle. All right, they finally got there. So let's go to game 3. Okay, so I definitely want Chalice of the Void. The question is, what am I taking out? I'm going to say Ill-Gotten Gains. Although Ill-Gotten Gains is like... Okay, so the way I win this matchup is I have to basically just outrace them, right? So, okay, Hymn to Torok's not going to cut it. Probably most of the time. I do want these because they stop Urza Saga and Merchant Scroll, but they don't stop anything else. It is pretty important to stop those, though. Let's see, they don't actually run any interactive pieces except bounce spells, so Dothy, the value of Dothy is not really that high, other than, of course, that it combos with Helm, but I can maybe cut 2 of these. All right. It's also obviously great if I can, like, Thoughtseize an opponent's ring and then take it, but that's not that likely. All the rest of these, like, Bowmasters and Shieldred are non-negotiable because they just stop them from drawing a million cards. All right, let's run that. So Chalice and Leyline of the Void, but we're not doing anything for a while. The Chalice on 0 on turn 1 is I think what's really benefiting this hand. And then we can eventually get to Karn or Helm to kill them, although if they ever find an answer to Chalice of the Void before that, then we're dead. I'm going to keep this. Put Leyline into play. Land, Chalice on 0. Over to them. Seagate Reborn, shocked or bolted in, plays Manifold Key. All right. I guess, no, I want to keep this in my hand in case I draw Chrome Mox. All right. Oh, no, I can't even Chrome Mox here because of Chalice. Never mind. All right. It doesn't really matter if I bolt myself anyway. My opponent's never killing me with damage. I guess they might kill me with Urza Saga. They're playing Otawara, so they're just going to naturally get up to the mana they need this way. Okay. So 3, Manifold untaps it, tap again. They can ring here if they have ring. Argentum Masticore. Upkeep, sack it unless you discard. When you discard a card this way, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the value of the discarded card. Can I win now, though? I have Dark Ritual. I can just win now, right? So Dark Ritual, Helm, target you. All right, we did it. 2 combo decks, passing in the night. All right, 5th and final round. We're on the draw. We have no lands, so that's a mole. This hand is unbelievably slow. I guess we do have Saga into Ancient Tomb. All right, go keep this, and what am I throwing away? Swamp? All right, let's do that. What are we up against? Griefus, exiling Troll. Well, this hand gets a lot worse now. I guess technically they can't take the Saga Tomb plan, so at the very least, that remains consistent. They took Beseech, Flooded Strand. I assume we're just getting reanimated here. Underground Sea. No, we're not. Ponder. So it's Dimir Shadow, or Dimir Tempo, rather, however you want to call it. We happen to draw another Beseech. Thoughtseize bug. All right, Saga, go. Second Underground Sea. Animate Dead. Oh, so is it Reanimator? So obviously they take the other Beseech now. All right. I don't think getting Karn here is relevant. Yeah, let's just make Karn Structs. All right, back over to them. Brainstorm. Cycles Troll. Gets another Underground Sea. Reanimate on Troll. Well, we got quite the uphill battle here. So make a Karn Struct. All right, so if I float a mana, I can get Karn Bridge into play, right? I go float, Urborg, Dark Ritual. I have 4 floating plus Tomb is 6, and I can Saga for Chrome Mox to get to 7 mana, and that's exactly enough to go Karn Bridge. Obviously, they have to not have a counterspell, but... All right, so float, tutor up Chrome Mox, trigger, exile Agadeems, then Dark Ritual, Urza Saga, play Karn, minus, go grab Ensnaring Bridge, play Ensnaring Bridge. All right, opponent ponders. They did not shuffle. Mystic Sanctuary, back, ponder. All right, Urza Saga goes up. Play Urborg. So if I play Dothy, I can Karn for Helm. and then kill them next turn. I don't want to Karn it now, though, because I want to play around Thoughtseize effect. So let's play Dothy, which means I want to plus Karn on nothing, and then pass to them. Ponder. Sheoldred's Edict, sack a Planeswalker. Well, so be it. All right, make a Construct. Then Saga Trigger. All right, make a Construct. And let's not hurt ourselves. So tap here, then search. I'm probably going to get Shadow Spear, right? Can't attack anyway, so just pass. So these are in exile right now. And now we do a long staring contest. Another Dothy. Play Dothy. And pass over to them. I can also just draw and then not play things until eventually I can attack them and they can't really attack me. But it's probably better to try to Helm combo them. Swamp. All right, Vault of Whispers. Equip this to, I don't even know, one of the constructs. Over to them. Grief. Sure. They grief our Dark Ritual. Beseech the Mirror. All right, so if they don't have a counter, we win. Which means I should play around Daze. So this. Tap Ancient Tomb for 2. Beseech with Bargain. Eat one of the constructs. Or should I just eat Shadow Spear? I should eat Shadow Spear in case they get rid of a bridge and then I have multiple blockers for Troll. All right, eat the Shadow Spear, go for Beseech. Helm, cast the Helm. All right, we win. So, I don't think they are Reanimator, actually. I think they're just blue-black tempo, but they're not Shadow. So I want Sheoldred's. Opposition Agent's okay. What's bad? Everything's kind of, like, fine, right? Did we even see a single counterspell out of them that game? I guess we didn't, but we have to assume they have them. So Dark Ritual out. And I assume we can't really needle anything in this matchup. I assume they're also playing Bowmasters, and they're playing a bunch of cantrips, so that's fine. All right, this is good. Submit. Let's see. This is decent. We have Leyline and Thoughtseize. Yeah, this is good. Reveal Leyline. No reanimation shenanigans for you. Ooh, I can get the Saga going. That might actually even be better than Thoughtseizing them here. It's probably not. Let's just Thoughtseize them. Opponent fetches. Brainstorm. Hiding the goods. Brazen, Entomb Grief. So they can Brazen the Leyline back to our hand, and there's nothing that we can do about that because they have 2 of them. So that being the case, I guess we take Entomb so that they can't Entomb like a bigger, more powerful threat to reanimate. Or do I just take one of the Brazen Borrowers? If they are actually Reanimator, then I need to get rid of Entomb. All right, let's take Entomb. And over to them. All right, so yeah, they're just going to end step bounce this. So let's go Saga and pass to them. Yep. Looted Delta, and then they can just flash in Brazen Borrower. All right, Saga goes up to 2 counters. Ooh, Opposition Agent. So they're going to fetch, and then we're going to respond with Opposition Agent, and then they're going to respond by bouncing Opposition Agent, but at least prevents them from putting pressure on. All right, so Oppo. Then they're forced to use Brazen Borrower here, yeah. And it prevents them from getting another threat into play this turn. Okay, what am I casting? If I float a mana and play Ancient Tomb, then I have access to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 if I get Chrome Mox, which means I'm 1 short of being able to Helm this turn. Also, if I activate this for a construct right now, I can't play Dothy. They're probably just going to flash out Brazen Borrower, and then we just kill it, right? So what if I float a mana? That mana's not doing anything either, right? Getting a 2/2 here is like, okay, not great. What am I Chrome Moxing from my hand? Probably a Leyline. All right, let's make a construct. Then search, trigger, get rid of this, play Ancient Tomb, and then over to them, flash out Brazen Borrower. All right, let's stop them on upkeep and flash in our Opposition Agent. Ponder. They shuffled. That's a good sign. Evoke Grief, exiling Archon of Cruelty. So they are Reanimator. Okay. So presumably they take what? Beseech here? No, Dothy. Fatal Push our Oppo Agent. And now it's Erase. There's a Saga. I can Beseech for something, assuming they don't have a counterspell. What would I even Beseech for? Sheoldred? If I Beseech, I can't also cast Sheoldred's Edict this turn. If they had Reanimate, they would have reanimated Grief last turn. I guess I can Beseech for Orcish Bowmaster, kill this, and then all their draw spells suck. So combat, swing. Beseeching for Orcish Bowmasters just seems really bad, though. I should probably just grab Sheoldred. Alright, so Beseech with Bargain, and then let's eat the Chrome Mox. Does this resolve? It does resolve. Alright, let's grab Sheoldred. Back to them. Alright, they conceded to that. So we found up 4-1 with Mono Black Helm. This deck was a blast to play. It's a combo deck, but you also got a lot of other things going for you that aren't just the combo. You can win with just like Dothy, Bowmaster, Sheoldred beats. Anytime that I see a Karn in a deck, I always wish there was like another thing to go with it. So for example, if there was like Mycosynth Lattice in the sideboard so that when you have Karn, but you don't have one of your 8 Void graveyard hate cards, you can just win with just Karn basically. But I don't know. Maybe the sideboard slots are just like really, really tight. Basically, just anytime there's a toolbox card, I always wish there was more to do with it. And even though there is only one Karn, there's 4 Beseeches for it. You won't always have the Leyline or Dothian play to go with the Helm combo. If you were to play Lattice, you'd probably cut what? Like the 4th Edict or one of the 2 Plague Engineers or the 3rd Opposition Agent, like one of those things. Other than that, though, I think the deck is pretty solid. These are probably the correct choices for Saga targets. Yeah, so if you're going to play this version, probably just like cut an Edict and then just play Lattice in that spot. But other than that, yeah, pretty good. All right, so that brings us to the end of the Mono Black Helm league.